How's it going, everybody? My name is Philip, and today I'm doing something that's quite interesting. Uh, I'm reacting to the rise and fall of Phoenix Jones. I did not hear about this. I did not know about this until I saw this random video from vigilante superhero turned villain. So apparently, from what I understand, this dude was an actual superhero that fought crime, an actual vigilante in the real world in Seattle, from what I thought it said. Let me actually just Seattle. Yep, Phoenix Jones. I've never heard of this. So obviously, as a superhero nerd that I am, I must watch this. I must see what the hell is this about. So, let's check it out.
My name is Phoenix Jones, and I'm the leader of the Seattle superhero movement. We walk around a lot of the really rough areas of Seattle and just keep our eyes out for crime and just are the first responders on the scene. 5 nights a week, I tuck my kids into bed, suit up with the comic strap, and hit the streets for patrol. You never know what's going to happen. Breaking up bar fights, feeding the homeless, just protecting the people of Seattle. The message is pretty simple.
I don't know what's going on in the quality right now, but for one, this dude looks like a capeless Bible man. Anyone know what that is? Who that is? You can probably just guess by the name. It was a Christian superhero. I remember. So we were friends. We were really good friends with the pastor, his wife, and his son, and they were invited to my birthday party one year when I was really little, and they knew how much I loved superheroes. So they got me a Bible Man movie. They got me a couple of them. I don't know. Obviously, this is a different color because Bible Man also had a cape, but he had purple and whatnot. It was the most bizarre thing ever. I recommend it for a good laugh. I don't remember anything about it, but yeah.
Report crime. Take that extra step. Standing by is easy, but helping out takes heart. A winner is someone who stands tall in the face of danger. The world needs more winners.
Now, it seems like there is always some point in our lives where we had a dream to don a cape and a superhero costume and fight crime for the greater good. For most of us, this dream died after we hit the ages of 8, 9, or even 10, but for others, they always held on to their dream of fighting crime and getting justice for the city that they grew up in. One of the first known in real life superheroes would be discovered in the 1970s in California. Richard Pesta would create his superhero persona, dubbing himself Captain Sticky. Captain Sticky would fight for consumer rights and also abuse within the nursing home system.
So that's a good that's a good that's something good to fight for. But why why on earth are you gonna call yourself Captain Sticky, Mr. Sticky, anything with the word sticky, like even like Sticky Fingers or. Why you put Sticky in, like, he just wanted to have the S on his chest. He couldn't be Supreme Stickman. That wouldn't work because he looked quite big, so I don't know.
But today we aren't looking at Captain Sticky, Captain Ozone, or even Mr. Extreme. Today we are going to take a look at one of the most famous in real life superheroes to date, which happens to be Phoenix Jones. Armed with a stun baton, pepper spray, tear gas, handcuffs, and a first aid kit, it was well known that Phoenix Jones took his superhero persona extremely seriously, and from 2009 up until the end of the decade, Phoenix Jones would help fight crime until he would become the same type of people that he was trying to lock up and put away. Let's take a look at Phoenix Jones's rise to the top and downfall. Now with every superhero, you need an origin story, and Phoenix Jones would get his origin story when his car was broken into and his son would fall onto the broken glass that surrounded the car door. The only thing left behind was the mask that the intruder used. The incident that followed this one would see Phoenix Jones's friend being assaulted outside of a bar. Phoenix Jones would take that mask that was left behind from the intruder of his earlier car break-in. He would put it on and then would make a scene to stop the beatdown of his friend and stall until the police came. Within the two occurrences, Phoenix Jones saw one thing in common, and that was the amount of bystanders watching with a lack of action.
Yo, okay. I'm sorry. My thing is, you don't know where that mask has been. Why are you gonna put that mask on, right? Like, why on earth are you gonna put that on and be like, oh, this is fine? You don't know what that dude had or has or girl or whoever that person is had. Also, people don't want to get shot or stabbed. So, like, of course they're not going to jump in. I think it's terrible. And if I knew how to fight, I'm not saying I would do it, but it'd be a lot of fun to pretend that you can just flip people around and kick their ass. As much as I, in my mind, I could be Batman, in real life, I know I can't do that. In my mind, I could fight like Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. I could fight like all of them. In real life, I'd get my ass kicked. I am not... Listen, I'll help him after the fact. I'll go up and like, yo. I know it's kind of too late, but I mean, I'm not trying to die. I can't help you if I'm dead. Like, what? I come and help you, I'm dying. I die, but you survive. So, I mean... It's just, yeah, anyways.
No one was trying to stop these crimes from happening, and that fueled Phoenix Jones and motivated him to be the change that he desperately wanted. But Phoenix Jones needed a costume that would conceal his identity. He couldn't wear a mask left behind from a robber, so he went to work creating a suit that was well worth over $10,000. One of the first times Phoenix Jones would receive press coverage was when he would stop a robber from breaking into a car. Phoenix Jones jumped into action by chasing away the robber, with the person who owned the car staring in complete shock that a superhero just stopped his car from being broken into. This happened in January of 2011, and with this newfound attention, Phoenix Jones would become the leader alongside his future wife, Purple Rain, of the Rain City superhero movement. The RCSM was a group of, quote, superheroes who would patrol certain blocks within Seattle, Washington. The members of the RCSM would need to have a background in martial arts or a military background. The RCSM and Phoenix Jones would become a household name in Seattle. They would stop robberies and would make sure that people who have been drinking didn't drive home. It seemed like everything was going good for the RCSM and Phoenix Jones until October of 2011, when Phoenix Jones would spring into action after he thought there was an apparent fight that was about to happen. But apparently, there was no fight at all. Both parties involved said that there was nothing going on, just a masked man came up to them and started spraying them with pepper spray. Phoenix Jones would end up being arrested, but would later get off on bail with no charges being filed against him. But after this incident, police would ask Phoenix Jones to unmask himself, and Jones would comply.
I'm Phoenix Jones.
Yo, where'd that hair come from? What the hell?
I'm also Ben Foder. I'm just like everyone else. The only difference is that I decided to make a difference and stop crime in my neighborhood, in my area. I intend to keep making that difference.
Talking to the press after he was released, Phoenix Jones would...
Yo, isn't that like the #1 rule? Granted, it's good that we don't have the supervillains to do that with, but like all of a sudden... You just broke the number one rule of being a superhero. It's not like you can just be like Clark Kent, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna put my glasses on. No one's gonna know who I am. My identity is secret now. You know, like I don't know. You broke the #1 rule of being a superhero.
Take off his mask to reveal that he was actually Ben Foder, who made a name for himself throughout the MMA scene. As an amateur in mixed martial arts, Ben Foder would accumulate 15 wins and just 2 losses. But Ben was also working with disabled children as his day job. After he unmasked himself, he would end up getting fired from his job because he injected himself into terrible and life-threatening interactions, and this would be made apparent in April of 2012, when Phoenix Jones would witness a shooting that would leave 1 woman deceased. Jones would chase after who he thought was the suspect that shot this woman, but it wasn't him. See, there was a drive-by shooting that was intended for the man that Phoenix Jones was chasing after, and the woman, whose name is Nicole Westbrook, was just a victim of a stray bullet. This was the first time that Phoenix Jones was in an actual life or death situation, and he realized that pretty quickly. He was nervous and would end up being more than happy to stop chasing the man that he thought had a gun on him after the police showed up. This would be a changing moment in Phoenix Jones's life. As a superhero, you invite supervillains into the mix, and on May 1st, 2012, Rex Velvet would reveal himself to be Phoenix Jones's arch nemesis in this video uploaded on May 1st.
Yo, you upload a video, all of a sudden this feels like it's just like some YouTube type of show. Like they making a reality superhero supervillain show. And when I said that we don't have supervillains, why does he look like the Riddler with an eye patch? Instead of a cane, he has a sword. Like, the fuck?
My dear city, I can recall a time when I could leave this lair and conduct my duties proudly and without distraction. But now he's out there, along with his silly gang of misfit Power Rangers disturbing the peace. How things have changed. Now our city is protected not by our once respected police force, but by a tormented, delusional freak in a mask. How did this happen? When I see that our boys in blue are being replaced by a hobo snitch in a mask, gallivanting around with a slew of nerds in tights, I have to wonder, what direction is our fair city heading in? The Rain City's superhero movement must disintegrate. For far too long we've watched as our nation buys into its childish charade, and it's run its course. It's time to get real, Jones. The community would be better off without you. You're doing more harm than good, and I'm willing to bet that a sensible, sane majority would agree with me. You're a nuisance, a problem child, a snitch, a fake. You must be stopped once and for all. You won't find me hiding my identity, Jones. My name is Rex Velvet, the people's villain, if you will. Before you jump to conclusions, let me tell you that I'm a fair negotiator and businessman. But I will not back down from you, Jones, until this city is rid of you.
So obviously, I'm sure that he was he was found out quite easily on who his secret identity was. Because it's just an eye patch. I'm pretty sure that's a fake scar. And obviously a fake mustache. Because I'm sure if he grew an actual mustache, he'd look like a pedophile. But, it's, yeah. it just seems like he's doing this because he wants attention. Is it just me, or is it just like, oh, he wants attention, so he's going to come up with this way of trying to get rid of a superhero? I don't know, maybe. See, look.
Phoenix Jones.
Rex Velvet would state that the community would be better without Phoenix Jones.
I'm just saying, with that type of production, he's literally, it just feels like it's a YouTube show now. It's a YouTube reality superhero show at this point. That's what this feels like all of a sudden. Especially now that there's body cam footage of Phoenix Jones.
Unfortunately, we never saw an actual feud between the two, mostly because Rex Velvet was trolling the RCSM and Phoenix Jones. But Jones was 100% serious with his superhero persona. But the very next day, on May 2nd, Phoenix Jones would again find himself in some more trouble. During the Black Bloc protests, Jones would be accused of pepper spraying a group of protesters. Jones would deny this allegation, but later on would spill the beans and would state that he only pepper sprayed them because they stated that they were going to bomb the city courthouse, and Jones just acted on self-defense as the protesters started to throw rocks and bottles at the windows and glass doors of the courthouse.
Why are you just gonna act on that? Oh, we're gonna bomb it. Show me the bomb. Oh, we're not gonna you don't got a bomb. See, that's what it is. You know, I'll make sure you have the cops already there with you so that when things go down, you're already like, yo, I got backup this time. Obviously, you have to change your voice if he didn't. At this point, did he already show his face? Because at some point, I feel like he'd have to be like Bruce Wayne, you know, like in the animated Batman series, where he's like, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. Then, hi, hello there, I'm Batman. You're no match for me, Joker. It's not much of a difference, I guess. But, I mean, Kevin Conroy knows how to do it perfectly.
This would be the start of the many criticisms that would come his way. People started taking Phoenix Jones as a joke, and he would be questioned all the time for his bravery. In November of 2012, right before the new year, Jones would engage in mutual combat, which is legal in Seattle, Washington, as long as the parties involved agreed and there is no damage to surrounding properties. This ended up being a bad look for Jones. With an MMA background, he would take on a man who was stumbling and looked like he was intoxicated. Phoenix Jones would easily win the fight, but people questioned if Jones actually wanted to make a difference in the world or if he was just fighting this man because of his ego. Because if he actually wanted to make a difference in the world, once he saw the man stumbling and intoxicated, he would have just walked away. Sadly, in 2013, Purple Rain and Phoenix Jones would officially go their separate ways, and with that came the downfall of the Rain City superhero movement. That would come to an abrupt end after Phoenix Jones said it became disorganized and a lot harder to manage the group. Phoenix Jones would also state that some of the members possessed illegal weapons that were a big no-no when it came to being a member of the RCSM, and also some of the members just weren't in shape. Jones said that he would continue to patrol Seattle, but he would be doing it solo. But this disbandment of the RCSM would come on the heels of allegations made against Phoenix Jones for stealing a fellow superhero's GoPro and another superhero's helmet, and that Jones would return that said GoPro broken just a couple years after. Shockwave would state that Phoenix Jones was a storyteller and that Jones would come to the meetups late and would run off without his team without any warning. The superhero Shockwave would state that he would be...
To me, it sounds like he's trying to be like a Batman. You know, because when I see Batman, Batman's like the rogue agent of the Justice League, where he's just like, I'm more of a alone. Like, I like to do things by myself and alone, and I'll call you if I need help. Or I'll have you guys deal with other little things while I do my own thing. That's how I see Batman. And that's what it seems like he's trying to do by himself. Like, he's trying to be the Batman of the group. Yeah.
Bringing Jones to court, but I couldn't find any resolve to this case. Now, throughout 2013 through 2017, Ben Fodor would make a comeback to the MMA scene, fighting for the Cage Warrior Combat promotion, and would end up signing an exclusive contract with World Series of Fighting. Throughout this time, Ben would go by his superhero name, Phoenix Jones, and would end up winning 7 fights and only losing 3 fights by decision. Now, throughout the mid-2010s, the hype around Phoenix Jones died down, and it would be rare to even see Jones out in the street. Jones would get his own comic book titled The Awesome Adventure of Phoenix Jones, but would also get negative feedback for showing the gruesome killing of Nicole Westbrook. The thing was, comic books were mostly fake, made up stories about superheroes that were not true. So whatever was depicted in the comic wouldn't hold too much value. But Phoenix Jones's comic was very different. It was very much real life, and showing this visual of Nicole Westbrook surrounded in blood was enough for people to again wonder if he did this for attention. But Nicole's sister would be on Jones's side, stating that it could help find her sister's killers. Moving on from this backlash, the last upload to his YouTube channel would be on November 10th, 2015, and then after that, there would be complete silence from the account. It wouldn't be made official until 2019, when Phoenix Jones would state that he was retiring from his super duties. This is what he had to say to the media. My whole life has been about making a balance, and I've seen a lot of stuff on the street. In the end, there is not a balance. It doesn't make sense. I've seen it on the streets. I've seen what people do to each other, and I live with it every day. Every day, I live with horrible, horrible things. And I think to myself, I made a difference. But I didn't make a difference. It didn't make a difference. The difference was supposed to be the people who saw a superhero being inspired to not act this way anymore. We have not gotten to that lesson. We didn't get to it at all. The shots, the stabbings, the bullets, it wasn't worth it. No one got it. Maybe I stopped an individual situation, but people were supposed to get better. He would also state that he wasn't fully devoted to retiring, but it was weighing heavy on his shoulders and mind.
See, but the thing is though, like when there's a superhero, people then all of a sudden just like, oh, well, I don't gotta do it now because we got a superhero over here. You know, like, so now all of a sudden, now that there's a superhero in Seattle, they were like, oh, don't worry, Phoenix Jones or some of the RCSM will come by and stop it. I don't have to, you know? And maybe they thought that, oh, now that there's a superhero, then, you know, crime will stop. Yeah, right. I mean, just even look at the normal comic books. Did crime stop when there was a Superman? No. Batman? Still no. Like, come on now.
Phoenix Jones would fade out of the limelight, but would be caught up in some big trouble in January of 2020. Phoenix Jones would be caught selling MDMA to an undercover narcotics detective. The detective would receive a brown paper bag that held 7 grams of MDMA. And a week later, the detective would try to get his hands on more Molly from Jones, but Jones would end up ghosting him. It wouldn't be until a couple more weeks later that Jones would respond back. Jones would agree to meet this detective at the Silver Cloud Hotel for a party. Jones and his new girlfriend would arrive around 11 p.m. and would be arrested shortly after. The detectives found 7 separate bundles of cocaine weighing out to 4 grams with 31 more grams of a white powdered substance. This was looking bad for Phoenix Jones, who once took people off of the streets for doing and selling drugs. But it's exactly what they say. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Damn
Jones has
straight.
come out on Instagram stating that he was coming back for redemption in May of 2021, but I have yet to see him make an appearance or even be talked about in the media. Phoenix Jones was once a vigilante superhero that would take crime into his own hands after years of being a victim or witnessing crime. But after years of fighting crime and not seeing a significant change, Jones would end up leaving his superhero duties to pick up a new moniker of a drug dealer. I hope that Jones can make a comeback and be a positive change, but once you taint your image as a superhero, it's very hard to get the respect back from your community.
Yeah.
This has been the rise and fall of Phoenix Jones. Let me know in the comment section below who you want to see next, and you just might get your wish. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.
That was weird. Was Seattle the only place that this happened? There is literally no way that this is the only place that this happened. Obviously, there's, what was it, Captain Sticky? Whatever the hell that was. But I have no idea. That is wild. But I swear, he looked like his suit looked like Bible Man, but just colored differently. You know what? Let's actually pull up a picture. Let's see if I could find a picture of the notorious Bible Man. Why did that not type? Hello? Yo, it is very close to this. Wait, was it a show? But I mean, tell me that this does not look a bit like Phoenix Jones. Let's pull up a side to side. Let's pull up a side to side comparison. I think that's very. I think it's worth the try. I mean, I don't know if you can see that very well, but Bible Man is purple, and Phoenix Jones is I mean, they're still they're very kind of similar. Again, I don't know why the hell they're like these right here. The collarbones are so puffy, but I mean, I guess he needed some padding because those are literally just little pads. And his face just looks so creepy. Like, why is that so narrow? I'm sorry. It's just so. I mean, the only difference is he has a chin strap and Phoenix Jones doesn't. But like, I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious if Bible Man had a underwear on the outside. I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, let's face it, it's weird. As much as I love to be as much as I would love to be a superhero, I'd get my ass kicked daily. I'd have to work out, train, and all that, and even still, I don't know if I want to be running around all that much. And I don't even know where, like, it's one of those things like, I got other stuff I want to be doing. As much as I would love to be a superhero and whatnot, I'm busy. I say that, but it's like Bruce Wayne's not busy. I mean, he has his own company. He's also fake. Okay? So, same with Iron Man, you know? They all fake. They don't need the money. You know, Bruce Wayne and Iron Man, you know, Tony Stark, they don't need the money. They also fake. Anyways, this was definitely weird. I should probably look up Purple Rain or no. What happened to the villain guy? what was it? Red Velvet? Whatever, was it Velvet something? What happened to him? Did he just be like, oh, Phoenix Jones isn't going to give me any notoriety anymore, so am I retiring all of a sudden? The eye patch? Did he get arrested because all of a sudden he had like the worst makeup? Like, I'm sure he would found out very quickly and he got fired from his job. And he was like, really? You want to be a supervillain? I could put on a weird voice too. Make it sound a bit like Stitch. Hi, I am your new villain. You know, like I could be a villain too. I'm just not a dumbass. Okay, let's be fair. A little bit, but not to the extent that I want to attack anybody. But thanks for watching. Let me know some other really random stories, whether it's like this of real life superheroes or just really random stuff. Let me know some stuff in the comment section below. I'll give it a watch. On some of the, I want to do some more of sports related stuff. This one was a bit random and out there, so I felt like this would be fun to watch. And I got some other stuff on why America is not the best that I plan on reacting to as well. And I want to do some more music as well. So let me know in the comment section below what else I should react to, and I will see you guys next time.